Connor is an artist who has been, I think, difficult for people to understand because his work has so many variations, such different materials and formats throughout his career. And it begins really in 1958 when he makes his first film called A Movie. It's also when he began making his first sculptures, which we call assemblages, out of found materials found in the street and shops and then worked on in his studio. But there are these breaks. In 1964, he stopped making the sculptures. He focused then more on drawings. In the 70s, he made photographs, and he came back to working in different media through his career. And I think it's the first time people have had a chance to really see the entirety of Connor's career.
I would add to that, the chapters are a perfect mirror of his desire to always change course, to always push ahead and do something different. And that is also one of the reasons why we call the show It's All True, because all these chapters or all these changes seem to be from radically different persons, artists. He doesn't seem to be just one artist, but many. And at the same time, there are common threads that weave through his entire career. And that disjunction, that juxtaposition of changes, of avoiding categories in his work, and at the same time continuing his passion and his obsessiveness and his richness in detail, that was the most beautiful, the most interesting, the most rewarding work for us as curators.
Bruce always wanted to be part of the time that he lived in, but he always wanted to be apart from it. So there's always this contradiction, and I think that is also at the heart of his work. So he evolved with the changes of society through decade after decade.
But all the time throughout his career, he managed to be a biting critic of mainstream culture. He was also a biting critic of institutions, like SF MoMA, like lots of museums throughout his career. And at the same time, he was really asking for a truthful, honest, and passionate relationship in art or through art.
And I would say, again, one of the contradictions of Connor is this sense of the apocalyptic, but also the sense of liberation and enlightenment. There's sometimes a sadness in the work, sometimes an anger, but there's also a sense of joy and a sense of humor and a sense of human possibility. So he was able to embrace, again, contradictions and live them simultaneously and build those things into his work so that any work has many, many facets to it.
Desde hace bastante tiempo que estábamos intentando hacer una exposición de Bruce Conner, un artista, digamos, un artista de artistas, pero artista que de algún modo se separa del canon no conocido en absoluto, pero que es un artista clave para entender el arte de la segunda mitad de siglo. El discurso, el arte hegemónico en la segunda mitad del siglo XX ha venido de Estados Unidos y tenemos la tendencia a asociar un cierto Estados Unidos a un cierto tipo de arte. Se le llame abstract expresionismo, se le llame pop art o un cierto tipo de arte conceptual, pero en el fondo muchas de estas manifestaciones no dejan de ser internacionales. El auténtico arte americano, o el arte que es vernáculo, estaría producido por un artista como Bruce Conner, que es absolutamente americano, pero al mismo tiempo es muy local. Sus referencias, sus miedos tienen que ver mucho con cierta cultura de las novelas negras de los años 40 y 50, cierta cultura de Hollywood, cierto modo de entender la política. Y eso para nosotros es interesante ver cómo dentro del país que produce el canon hay resistencias a este canon y Bruce Conner es sin duda la figura.